Welcome to Module 3. So the purpose of Module 3 is to enable us to get sort of harmony with the whole picture. So by now we've got all of our image together. We've got like our main object. We've got, like in the case of the painting, I'm doing the sky and the sea and the pier. It's all there. It's all been one coat of paint so far. So this time we're going to put more paint on, and we're just going to be a little more, sort of take a bit more time. So we're going to spend some time on the sky first, and then there'll be separate lessons for the sky, for the sea, and for the main object. And then, so by the end of this, we'll have like what essentially is a really great picture by the end of these few lessons. A really great painting that you could feel is about there. But then we'll go on and put the final touches, which puts it just like that little level above what we would have expected. So I'm sure by the end of it all, you'll be really surprised by what you produce. The process is the same in every painting I do, however complex. In fact, I use the same process with portraits, which you can see behind me as well. There's just lots of other stuff in between, but we can come up with a great image. So to the painting. So let's start painting. So the sky now, it's ways of making it real, really. It's already got, because of the loose way in which I started doing it, it's a great starting point. Already, it's a bit unfair because I've painted this subject quite a lot of times. So please don't feel, oh, well, he can just do it and I can't. It's because I've painted this subject quite a few times. I'm naturally doing things and trying to point them out as I go along. Please don't be disheartened. It's taken me I paint a lot every day. And like you pick up loads of things just naturally. And that's partly what I want to share, is the fact you do that as well, and you'll find your own way of doing this. So we're sticking with the same colors. So I'm going to get some blues and whites. I'm going to start putting some different blues onto the canvas. And I'm going to just put some little touches of red down here as well. And then then I'm going to get lots of water on my brush. And start to get this. I've sort of got a grey white, which is great. And then I'm going to start, if you're left-handed, start up here. But I find right-handed, I start up here, and it's a case of getting a rhythm. Like if you look at the sky very often, it's got a rhythm, isn't it? It's got like marks that you see, that you know, it's just got this feeling. So it's like a rhythm, it's like a vibration almost. It's like the sounds of our body almost. So I've got a sort of grey. It's mixing in with the blue. Just a bit of a darker mix this time. Now I'm going to get some fresh white from May. I can't emphasize enough, really. White is the thing that you use the most. It's really, really useful, especially with acrylics. It's got a different function, really, in oils. But actually, so I'm just going to, so I've got the different blue here. So these little curly movements, they gradually, after layer after layer after layer, they start to have a great effect, a great effect. Now I've picked up some of the reds down the bottom. I'm broadening my brush strokes. And the reason I'm getting some red in there, because it really sets off the greens in the sea. As the painting progresses. So I'm going to pick up my box now, plenty of water, and I'm going to work really fast. As fast as, now I've picked up some, oh, let's see, never mind. I've got this sort of orangey, don't worry about painting over your main object. It will still show through the paint. You know where it is. You can come back to it. And actually, it starts to give it some real character. Once you develop. Yeah, so the main thing is not to fall in love with what you've painted already, basically, and create this new. Now I've lost that blue. The paint was a bit drier than I thought it was. So I'm just going to pick up a bit more blue. That's it. So I've got all these different tones and colours. Building up in the sky. More water. Plenty of water. Doesn't matter if it runs down. So you've got this sort of Turner-esque yellow there. Some cerulean blues. There's purples and blues, yellows, reds. And with the water, just moves the paint around a bit. So I'm just going to move again, go back to the right. Got a sort of regular brush motion. It gives some sky some interest, really. It's like maybe with a picture you'll just get all grey or all blue in the sky. It works well in a photograph, but in a painting, you've got a chance to really express yourself and think of all those times you've looked up the sky and you think, wow, look at that. I could never get a picture of that. And now you can with painting. So I was thinking the other day, what's really special about painting is it really is something that nobody's done before. I know that sounds crazy, but the end result is always something new. It's never going to be the same. Never going to be the same. I've got that painting over there. This is going to be a completely different. When I say completely different, it's going to be quite different. But yeah, and as you start paint, you keep brushing, putting your, it's putting the energy into the painting and the paint. Also, too, you'll notice, what I want you to notice is how the paint is already beginning to dry and it becomes sticky. So you can get some really nice effects. There you see bits of red, you get some really nice effects around here starting to happen, especially with the acrylics, that just, sometimes you'll look up at the sky wherever you are and you'll kind of go, oh, yeah, there it is. That's what I was. You get these layered effects. And already, doesn't that look fantastic? Already, and that's just 2 coats of paint. And where I just, it looked sort of careless probably when I started putting paint inside the top of the structure. But as you can see now, the sky is looking fantastic, isn't it? And that's with a couple of layers of paint. It's just putting odd bits of red in there. You can see the bits of red. You can see the reds. You can see all the different bits and tones and stuff, which is exactly what happens in the sky. Well, it's not exactly what happens. It's like an illusion that you can't help but think about. That anyway. So I'm going to have another go at the scene in the next video. See you in a bit.